In this episode, I'm going to share with you the theme for the month of September. I'm going to fill you in on the numerology for the month ahead. We'll look at important astrological dates as well and their significance. And I'm going to give you the angel cards with guidance for the month. And I'll fill you in on which angels to work with. So, thank you for being here. If you haven't met me, my name is Sandra Ray. I'm an author, healer, and spiritual teacher. And I help people to work with the angels and to open up spiritually. So you are in the right place. And let's take a look at September, the energy coming up, the theme for the month, and I'll explain to you how to work with the energy. So when I was tuning into September, the theme that was coming up really strongly was openness. So the visual that I was getting, if you can imagine, the sun rising in the sky, and that morning sun where it starts off as this kind of weak glow, this warm glow in the sky. And as it rises, it's giving way more and more to itself, the fullness of its brightness, of its glory. And it with each passing moment, it develops more in the sky. The sun shines brighter and brighter. And of course, the sun is always shining at its fullness, but it's just that we can't always see it. So it's not that the sun develops or changes, it's our perception of it that changes. So this is the theme of openness, that it's all about being open to our fullness, being open to our completeness, seeing all of it, changing our perception of ourselves, not just these limited physical forms, but knowing that we are infinite spiritual beings. And September offers us the chance to see ourselves more fully and, of course, to be ourselves fully. So, asking yourself, are you open to seeing and being your true self? And are you open to embodying the truth of who you are? And are you open to cracking open that outer shell that you've been wearing and releasing all of the layers and really allowing your light to shine through? And of course, this takes courage, this takes vulnerability, it takes patience, it takes acceptance, it takes allowing, and of course, it takes openness, open to being who you truly are. And it's funny because as I was preparing for this episode, I was tuning into the theme and I was just sitting and contemplating this idea of openness. And I was sitting in my sitting room and the door was open into the back garden. And I noticed there was a butterfly kind of hovering around the back door. And next thing, it flew through the open door and it flew around the sitting room and eventually went to the window, opened the window and flew straight out and up into the sky. But really, I think the symbolism of that, and that's something that hasn't happened in a long, long time. There's occasionally a butterfly will fly in, but maybe once every few years. But the symbolism is this, the butterfly is the symbol of transformation, of metamorphosis. And when we are open to shining our light, when we're open to being in the fullness of who we are, it allows that transformation. It allows it to quicken. It allows it to happen naturally and of its own accord. So yeah, a lot of things coming up around that theme. But let me just touch on the numerology for the month for a moment, because I think this complements the theme of openness. The September is a 9 month. So the number 9 is all about completion. And it's the last of the single digit numbers. So it represents completion. So it could be that a phase of your life is coming to completion, coming to a close, and allowing for the new to begin. So being open to releasing all that no longer serves you and opening up to the new. So we'll talk about this more in a moment, but if you want to really go deeper into interpreting angel numbers and their meaning, check out the featured video at the end of this one. I'll put a link to it. It's all about angel numbers and interpreting their meanings. So a number 9 month, and we'll go back to that in a moment, but the astrology dates that we're going to look at are, first of all, we have the 9/9 gateway. Then following that, on the 10th, we have the full moon in Pisces and Mercury retrograde. I'll explain all of these. On the 23rd, we have Libra season beginning and the equinox. And then at the end of the month, we have the new moon in Libra on the 25th. So let me go back to the 9/9 gateway because, as I said, 9 represents completion. And when something is brought to a close, when something's completed, it allows for something new to begin. And I always feel that the September energy, it's always as if there's this newness coming in. There's this theme of completion, but there's very much a sense of new beginnings. And of course, as one door closes, another door opens. So asking yourself, what is drawing to a close? Or what needs to be completed? Is there something that you've been working on or something that you've been putting off that needs to be completed, that needs to be drawn to an end, that you need to draw a line under so that you can take that project or that phase of your life and allow it to complete so that the next phase can begin? So during the 9/9 Gateway on the 9th of September, really tuning into that, asking yourself, what is drawing to a close? Or what do I need to focus on that is something I need to complete? And allowing for that to end so that something new can begin. So really tuning into that. And then the next day we have the full moon in Pisces and Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is going to be retrograde from the 10th until the 1st of October, so for the rest of September. And remember, we also have Jupiter in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Neptune, Pluto. These are all in retrograde for the month. So it's going to be a really introspective time. So I always think that Mercury retrograde, Mercury is all about communication. And instead of outward communication, when it's retrograde, it's turning the other way. So it's all about inward communication. So it's all about going within that, spending that time in introspection, tuning into your heart, tuning into your soul. And I find it amazing when we do take that time, when we take advantage of all these planets in retrograde to go within and really spend that time with ourselves, with our intuition, with our souls. So much can be revealed. It can be so opening to new revelations. And again, we have that theme of openness. So, are you open to those revelations? Are you open to that intuitive guidance? Are you open to what's coming through you on a soul level? And really just embracing that inward communication. And of course, we have the full moon in Pisces as well. So we have this emotional, watery Pisces energy. So if you are feeling overly emotional, just sitting with what is coming up. If there is something coming up through you, being open to it, welcoming it, allowing it, without fighting it, without trying to push it back down, just being open to this, your sensitivities, being open to your emotions. So often we spend so much time and energy pushing everything back down, trying to avoid or repress emotions. And really, during this introspective time, it's time to sit with it. And I'm not saying it's time to wallow in it, that's very different. When you sit with it, when you're open to it, it can often very quickly pass through you because of that openness. There's no blockages pushing it down. You're open to that flow of energy. And it really is a beautiful time to release a lot of stuff that you may have been pushing or squashing down that needs a little bit of time to air and flow through you. So the full moon on the 10th with Mercury going retrograde as well is going to allow for that. So tuning in on the 10th to what is flowing up through you, what is coming out, And the full moon is all about healing energy as well. So that can be coming out for healing and release. So working with that. And then on the 23rd, we have Libra season and the equinox. So the equinox and the start of the Libra season is going to bring a beautiful time of really, well, Libra is all about balance. And the equinox is the point in the year where day and night are equal length. So this is a turning point because we're going from the days being longer here in the Northern Hemisphere to having equal length. And then obviously the shortening of daylight and the lengthening of nights. And in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the opposite way around. So a really powerful time for change is that transition period where we have that equinox, that day in between. And Libra is all about balance of the scales. And again, we have this balance, equal balance of day and night. So it brings opportunity to bring your life into balance, to bring your energy into balance. So asking yourself, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to be in balance? What does it mean to be aligned? And maybe it's balancing your emotions, or maybe it's balancing your health or your finances. Maybe it's spiritual balance or something else for you, but just tuning in and asking yourself, where in your life is there a longing for balance? A really powerful question to ask. And then on the equinox, at the start of Libra season on the 23rd, really just sitting with that and tuning in and seeing what comes up. Sometimes when we tune in on these dates where these equinox portals are available to us, it can reveal so much because we're able to tap in and tune into the energy much easier than on other days. So following that, we have the new moon in Libra on the 25th. The new moon is about starting fresh. It's when the moon is black in the sky. We can't see it. It's fully the dark moon. And we have this energy of something that's being birthed. The moon is birthing itself into the crescent moon in the coming days and weeks. So the Libra energy is all about relationships, it's about compassion. And we have this compassionate energy coming up. We also have the guardian angel of Libra, who's Zuriel. So, really powerful time to work with Zuriel. And you can ask yourself, how can I be more compassionate towards myself? And really tuning into that. And then also asking, how can I be more compassionate towards others? It always starts with yourself, bringing that compassion towards yourself, to yourself first, and then spreading that out to others in your life. And when you work with that energy of compassion, if you set an intention to be compassionate towards yourself first and foremost, and then if you can spread that to others, think about the blessings that you can bring to so many people, to yourself, of course, but to so many others in your life. And you can really birth that with the new moon energy on the 25th. And of course, running up to the new moon and in the days after it as well, that energy will still be at a peak. So yeah, really positive energy coming up. The angel cards that I selected just before I started this, I shuffled the cards, and the first card that came up is this card. So this is Pagiel, and Pagiel is the guardian angel of heart's desire. So this is the card for seeking and attaining true heart's desire. So if we go back to the theme of openness, when we are open to allowing our true heart's desire to come through, to allowing ourselves to receive it, then something really powerful can happen. We can work with that energy of Pagiel, this beautiful angel, and working with our true heart's desires and asking for the ability to be open to receiving our true heart's desire in all its fullness and allowing it to manifest into our lives. So, beautiful card. And if you've been working with your true heart's desire for a while and you haven't been making progress, maybe invoking Pagiel and asking Pagiel for guidance, and really working with Pagiel throughout the month of September, if that's what you're drawn to, but particularly on those days that we talked about, the full moon, the new moon, the equinox, the start of Libra season, all of those days will be really powerful times to work with Pagiel. So the second card that has come up is Sahakiel. So Sahakiel is the guardian angel of the sky, and this is the card for sun, moon, and stars and nature guidance. So I love this card because this really is a reflection of the equinox, that period of balance that we were talking about, and knowing that the sky isn't the limit, that there's so much more that we can open up to, so much more possibilities that await us, and working with the energy of nature and allowing yourself to receive. So again, calling on Sahakiel, if you're guided to work with Sahakiel and this energy of the sky and of nature guidance, and particularly around the equinoxes, be a really powerful time. And what I'll do is I'll put a note below in the comments or in the show notes, just with these angels' names, because I know a lot of you often ask for the name of the angels, so I'll put a note below as well. So the third card, and I was smiling when this one came up, because this card is the butterfly and dragonfly mandala. And this is the card of psychic and spiritual development and transformation. And I was laughing because I mentioned earlier about the butterfly flying into my room. And afterwards, I shuffled the cards and this card came up. So as I said, this is the card of psychic and spiritual development. So the butterflies and dragonflies represent this winged energy, this air energy. And we have this energy with the butterfly of transformation, of metamorphosis, which I was talking about. And then the dragonfly, we also have the air and the water energy balanced as well. So the water brings this soothing energy, and particularly as we go through the full moon in Pisces, this will help to balance and soothe our energy and soothe emotions if you're working with that energy. So a really powerful time to develop your psychic skills if that's something that you want to open up to. Again, the equinox, that portal, is a beautiful day or a beautiful period, not just that day, but in and around the equinox. That portal will really help us to tap into spiritual downloads, to psychic insights, really just tapping into that energy. And if you want to, you can work with that beautiful purple energy that you can see in this card here, that those colors of like violet and purple, and that will help to open up your third eye, which is associated with that kind of those deep purpley blue energy as well. So you can call on the energy of the butterfly and dragonflies to work with that airy, psychic, spiritual side. And also Ariel, Angel Ariel, is linked with this card as well. The bringing in that air energy, so you can work with Ariel too. So overall, September, I think, is, as I said, the theme of openness is going to crack us open on new levels. We'll be able to shift and shed layers of old energy that we might have been carrying, and really opening up to something new, transforming, metamorphosizing, and yeah, just lots of opportunity, lots of potential there. So I hope this helps. I hope you will work with the energy and the angels and call on them and really just take advantage of what's coming up. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next episode. And remember to like this video and subscribe for future episodes. And I will see you very soon. Bye bye.